Good morning, everyone. There's a couple things that I do need to address about the panel last night, and questions were asked about Teresa Martin, the continuances, as well as some other things. So let me address that because I've put in mad research and I can explain the continuances as well as why it's impossible. Impossible. So, CPO, which we all know who that is, asked for a continuance. They weren't there. They e-filed for a continuance. Weren't there. They asked for a continuance. Now let's get down to activity date 419, where Miss Martin had a continuance allowed 5/3/2018. Activity date 5/31/2018. Miss Martin. Case set on status call. Date 8/6/2018. 10/15/2305. Now, let me explain these continuances before I get into the rest. The continuances were because Teresa Martin fired Larry Rodgers. Okay? Teresa Martin didn't have an attorney. Here, nor did she have one here. Whether the court date was on 8/4, 8/5, 8/6, Teresa Martin fired Mr. Rodgers before that. When you go up, you will see his name as showing up, right? The participant would be him. Participant would be Mr. Rodgers. But when you go down, you can see that it doesn't matter what date. It could be 6, 7, 8, 9th month. Teresa Martin didn't have an attorney because she fired him. So it doesn't matter when the court date was, whether it was a status call or not. Continuance means just that, where the case is continued. The reason for the continuance is because she was pro se. She was looking for a new attorney. So, the status call was to update her on the case because she had no attorney. So I don't know whose shoes they were, but they weren't Mr. Rodgers. And I'm not being disrespectful, but at that time, Mr. Rodgers wasn't her attorney, so why would he be at a court date at all? Even before 10/5, 10/6, 10/3, 10/2. Now, up until you see this, when she gets her new attorney, okay? 10/1 is when she actually receives an attorney. That's why under her name, attorney says his name. But when you see these requests for continuances, it just says Teresa Martin because she didn't have an attorney. She was pro se at that time looking for a new attorney, like I said. Now let me show you July 1st new law on all cases.